Well, let me start with a confession. I would say for most of my life, I was fairly judgmental towards a certain group of people. If I were honest, I would say I would just never have taken part in what they were taking part in. Like I thought it was unacceptable, thought it was kind of disgusting. I am talking, of course, about people who put pineapple on their pizza. You know who you are. What are we doing? We're gonna start putting pepperoni on our ice cream? Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna squirt some ketchup on breakfast cereal. We're gonna start dipping our Oreos in ranch dressing. Is that how we're living now? Like, it feels to me like culinary blasphemy, like an unholy union between pepperoni, or between pizza and pineapple. And so for a long time, I guess I was pretty judgy about that. I would challenge people who would partake. I would secretly judge these misguided souls. I would think to myself, remind me never to ask that person for advice about anything ever. Like, I'm gonna ask you for parenting advice, you put pineapple on your pizza. But then, my dear friends, one fateful night, at a friend's house, I grabbed what I thought was an innocent slice of ham pizza. And something strange happened. My taste buds were assaulted. Or should I say serenaded? With an unexpected symphony of flavors. The savory ham harmonized perfectly with the sweet tropical notes of the pineapple, the acidic tang of the fruit cut through the richness of the cheese. It was a beautiful collision of flavors, a paradoxical pairing that somehow worked in perfect culinary harmony, Beethoven conducting a symphony in my mouth. I finally saw the light, and it was a golden piece of pineapple on a bed of mozzarella. How could I have been so wrong? How could I have been so judgmental and so arrogant? I'd never even tried it, and here I was, discovering something beautiful, served up a piece of humble pie, but it's never tasted better. I tried to keep my new discovery to myself. I didn't want to share with other people that I had been wrong. I had already become well known as an anti-pineapple apologist, a crusader against tropical toppings. And so at first I kept it to myself. Pineapple became a forbidden fruit for me, where I partook of this in secret. But then I decided it's time. It's time to just go public with it. And so in 2007 at a Super Bowl party, I remember like it was yesterday, the Colts were playing the Bears. There were quite a few pizzas spread out on an island, and right there in the middle was my Hawaiian temptress calling out to me. And I took a piece and I ate it in front of everybody and immediately felt freedom and felt community. Now we had agreements, we could be one, united. There's a sense in which we think that the only way we can really be together on something is if we all see it the same way. If we all have the same tastes, the same opinions, the same preferences, the same politics, the same interpretations. Like, in order for us to have community, we've all got to see things the same way. And that idea is perpetuated in our culture because we are bombarded these days with hot takes and viral threads and trending topics. And the question that we're confronted with, like, all the time, I don't think it used to be this way, but it certainly is now. We're constantly being asked, what do you think? What's your opinion on this? What tribe are you in? Where do you stand on this issue? I mean, throughout the day, we are constantly exposed to that question in one way or another. And it could be about global politics or the latest celebrity scandal or whether a hot dog's a sandwich. Like, it could be on anything, but there's lots of opinions, lots of different perspectives. And this pressure to pick sides has caused lots of division. We see it within the church, we see it in God's house, but we see it in our own houses. Lots of division between family and friends and communities. We just get focused on what we think, on our tastes and our preferences. And so last week we began a series called The Separation of Church and Hate. We're going through Romans chapter 14, and Paul addresses our tendency to allow disagreement to turn into division and to disunity. And it's because we get so focused on an issue, something we don't necessarily agree on, that we lose sight of what's really important. We get so obsessed with being right that we forget about relationship. And so he challenges us in Romans 14 to not miss the big picture, that we need to be united